Welcome to the Mindset RX podcast, a show for functional athletes who want to gain the champ's mindset. My name is Tom Foxley and I'm the founder and the head coach of Mindset RX. Today's show is all about awareness again. The last episode we talked about awareness of things you might say to yourself, and today is things that are the product of those things that you say to yourself that you do. In other words, behaviors. What are the behaviors that you're doing that are a result of a negative mindset that are non-beneficial to your behaviors, or non-beneficial to your success, I should say. And the first one of these is you don't push hard enough. And you may be thinking, whoa, why is this a mindset problem, Tom? But the reason why is because our thoughts are holding us back from progressing. And if you're not pushing hard enough in WODs, if you're not working as hard as you used to be able to, or that you know you should be able to, your intensity tolerance, as I call it, will be lacking, and therefore you won't be able to move forwards. And this is always a mindset thing. It's a combination of your familiarity with that intensity, but mostly how you process it, how you frame it. And if we can change the framing of that hardship and go towards it instead of shying away from it, we make progress. Another huge thing we do, is a better way of putting it, is we lose sight of who we want to become. We get so caught up in chasing the numbers and chasing the metrics and chasing quantifiable outcomes that we lose sight of why we're doing that, which is a way of feeling that we want to experience more. It's who you want to be. It's back to that question that I talk about the whole time. Who do you want to be? And when we lose sight of that for the numbers, we've lost sight of our purpose. And training for me and for every other athlete that's been successful in whatever you deem as success has been massively influenced by who I want to be as a result. Say you want to be the games champion. Who do you want to be? I want to be respected. I want to feel like I'm a success. I want to feel unbeatable, invincible. I want to feel like a winner, and that's who you want to be. You're doing it for that emotional pull, not for the piece of metal that hangs around your neck or the check. You're doing it for who do I want to be. The next thing is stress is brought from your outside life into your training. And this is a massive mindset thing, because if you have that ability to switch and say, look, I'm no longer at work, I'm no longer having that argument with my spouse, I'm no longer experiencing the stress of my family situation, whatever it is, then, and switch that off when you go to the gym, you're going to perform much better. And that's why we started training originally, isn't it? Because it gave you that break, it gave you that better alternative, that better way of living. And this way of training without being attached to what was happening previously is going to change the outcome completely. So if you're bringing stress into training, chances are we need to work on the mindset there. We need to do some things that are going to change that. Another thing is you try to set routines, but you can't stick to them. You find yourself fluctuating according to external stimuli. Say you're in sales and you're not making many sales, and then suddenly your health starts taking a plummet. Maybe you have a great period with your spouse, and it's like, yeah, this is the best time ever. We're excited to move forwards, and because of that excitement, you lose sight of your health momentarily. Say you have family issues, or say any number of things. Those shifts in your routine massively affect your training and your recovery and all that kind of stuff. So if you're struggling to stick to your routine, then that following the whim of external influence is not going to help you. And we need to address the mindset at the heart of that, okay, before we change things. So if you try and force yourself back into routine, guess what? Life throws up those things all over the time, whether they're good or bad, and you will fall prey to them. Another one. Let's talk about self-sabotage in this way. Pre-lift, okay? If you're picturing yourself missing the lift time and time again and then actually missing it, we need to work on mindset, because when we change the mindset, all of a sudden you change the outcome. And it's not a magic pill, but it is the way to move forwards. Because if you're negatively imaging that, or negatively imagining that outcome, man, you've got some work to do there, guys. What about fear as well? If you're finding yourself fearful of 3 things: success. Now, that's a funny thing to be scared of, but we'll be amazed how many people are scared of success and the work that encumbers and the change of standards that come as a result of that. Failure, of course, and injury and things that are negatively associated with that. And then the third thing is the enormity of a task that comes as a result of the behaviors and the change that has to happen. And that thing there is where a lot of us get stuck. We get so scared and so fearful of the enormity of the task in front of us that we stop taking the appropriate action. So find that fear, and if you're feeling fearful about the outcome, about where you're going, that needs to change. And then finally, inconsistency in training, but also nutrition and recovery and all these kind of things. It's very similar to no routine things, but if you have no routine, which I doubt, but if you have no routine that's positive, because everyone has a routine to some degree, but most people's routines are intentional. So if you're inconsistent with your training, inconsistent with everything you're looking to achieve, then we've got to change that. We've got to change the outcome. That starts with changing the mindset and basically changing the beliefs around that. And I can't go into in too much detail now, but that is what we're looking to do. We've got to change the mindset, and we will change all those ways that we self-sabotage. So if you enjoyed the show, and if you want a bit more help with this, you can email me or reach out on social media. I think social media is probably the best way to go, and you can follow me on Instagram at Tom Foxley, and that's probably the best way to get hold of me. Or you can join the free Facebook group that we run as well, which is called Mindset for Functional Athletes. Anyway, if you enjoyed the show, please head over to iTunes, leave a 5-star review, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I'll speak to you all very, very soon, and have a fantastic weekend.